something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up, and wherever they are assembled today, whether they are in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same: we want to be free.
In the year 1919, Americans were experiencing the end of World War I, and most Americans were eager for peace and security, but 1919 would prove to be anything but revolution, proving that racial discrimination was an evil act that existed in many parts of the United States, and Chicago being one of the worst to experience it during the race riots in 1919, leaving many dead, wounded, and homeless. Unlike southern cities at the time, Chicago did not segregate most public accommodations. The most serious racial outbreak occurred in Chicago late in July of the so-called Red Summer. The riot that began on July 27th in a fight at Lake Michigan Beach. A young Negro named Eugene Williams was swimming offshore and had drifted into water that was customarily used by whites. White swimmers commanded him to return to his part of the beach, but he refused. The white Americans continued to throw stones at him, and the young boy drowned. When the young boy had drowned, the Negroes declared that he had been murdered. Rumors spread amongst blacks and whites. A full-scale riot began in the city. Angry African Americans attacked white neighborhoods while whites attacked African American neighborhoods. The riots lasted for several days. In the end, 38 people died, 15 white and 23 black, and over 500 were injured. Over the week, injuries stood at 537, with 2/3 of the injured being black and 1/3 white, while the approximately 1,000 to 2,000 who lost their homes were mostly black. It is considered the worst of nearly 25 riots in the United States during the Red Summer of 1919. So named because of the racial and labor-related violence and fatalities across the nation. In the aftermath of rioting, some suggested adding zoning laws to formally segregate housing in Chicago, or restrictions preventing blacks from working alongside whites in the stockyards and other industries. Some measures were rejected by African Americans and liberal white voters. However, city officials instead organized the Chicago Commission on Race Relations to look into the root causes of the riots and find ways to combat them.
We can now say that those who are black are now allowed to participate and work in business industries, stockyards, and more public accommodations compared to the times of 1919. We can now conclude that racial discrimination is still being faced today by those who are African American, even after hundreds of years, and also that police brutality is still evident to this day and is faced amongst all around the United States.
I phone you every night, girl. Don't recognize me, girl. I wanna fold you. Don't come around.